during some time. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So till that time, don't remind me, sir, why, when you are giving me, nothing like that. I'll send. Right. It may take even 9 o'clock also, but we will do. Right. Now the next topic. So a lighter topic I want to tell you is bash. Bash. B-A-S-H. What is bash? First I mentioned born again shell. Born again shell.
Bash is just a scripting language, I think.
No, it is the environment where your commands are there. See,
Oh,
even when you say PS, your bash is there, right?
yes, sir.
Sir, is that hello?
Yeah.
Sir, is that bash only permitted for Linux or
Only for Linux.
okay, sir.
Only for Linux. So again, I'm restarting this account is still clean up. 1 second, I will take a different one. 227 I did right now. Any lab you can take. This is nothing. Okay, bash. Bash is born again shell. And this is the only shell in Linux. The only shell in Linux. We don't have any other shells. Earlier versions of Unix, not Linux, has various kind of shells like B shell, K shell, and C shell, etc. But now we don't have any other shells other than bash in Linux. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Insert a break. Okay, page break. So in Linux, we have only one default shell that is called as bash. Now we will learn something about this bash. Bash means a place where the user can invoke the commands. Without bash, you cannot invoke, users cannot invoke any commands. Bash means where a user can live and invoke, live. Shell, what is a shell? In the seashore, you have a lot of shells, right? What does the shell contains? A creature, right? For that creature, the shell is a place to live. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Same thing here also for the users. In order to log in, you need to have a shell. Without shell, you cannot have any command or anything which is running. And kernel also interacts with the users via shell. Is this clear till now? Shell. So here we have.
So shell is a mediator, sir, between user and kernel, sir.
Absolutely, it is an interface for the kernel and the user. Okay, you can also say interface between kernel and kernel means OS, right? Kernel means OS and users. Right. So now let us understand a little bit more about this shell. And also, we will also learn about user interactions like shell scripts. Scripts, we also call it scripts. Anything which we are invoking via commands. Commands means you know that when you invoke something, date or something like that, it produces an output. So here also, script means that whatever you define, it will read accordingly and then provide. So this is called as, shell script. At a later stage, we are going to learn, not now. Is this ready? Okay. So first, let us learn about, where is this? The first command which I want to do. So this is the shell. This dollar prompt is the shell. And this shell is bash, bin bash. Bin bash. Okay, /bin/bash. I'll explain about what is bin. Bin is a nothing but binary, nothing more. Bash. This shell is called as a bash. And you want to know about the parameters or the environment of the shell. Environment, you can say simply env. Env, environment. Okay. Let us understand a little bit about this environment. Here I have given this env, this one. So this is called as the shell variable. This is called as the shell variable. And this is the value which is defined for that variable. Host name is the parameter, you can say shell parameter, and this is the value. All right. So just like this, write some of the things, not completely, I'm pasting. So when you say env, this is environment. Here, for each and every line, you can see I'm writing it in bracket. Shell parameter equal to value. So anyone who is unable to understand, please stop me. These are various parameters. Even in our house also, I'll tell you, every house, we have bedroom, we have bathroom, we have kitchen room, we have dining room, we have study room, like that we have portico. Or is everything same?
No, different.
Different. We will not eat in the bedroom, right? Similarly, we cannot study in the kitchen room. Very difficult. Everything has its own environment. Everything has its own environment. Similarly, shell also has a different environment. And these parameters will define the values. Okay. So if I say shell, this is the shell. What is the shell type? You have only one, that is bin bash. You have only bin bash, that is the thing. What is the history? History, I spoke about history command. What is history command? It will tell about the previous commands, right?
Yes, sir.
So how many previous commands can be recorded? It is defined in the parameter. How much?
1000.
1000. It can record up to 1000 lines. 1000, previous 1000. After 1000, it cannot, because that is defined. If you want to increase, you can increase more. Is this clear? We will not study about how to increase or decrease. It is the set parameters which is shown across here. So similarly, SSH client, user equal to EC2-user. This is defined already. You see this one, this is already defined. And this is colors. So you are seeing colors, right? Whenever I say MKDAR, ABCD, how does this color purple coming? How does this purple color coming? It is defined. It is defined. You see this one in for directory, you might say mention that. You can see somewhere DAR, LS colors for different type. *.gif, *so and so, *jpg. Similarly, for directories also, he might have mentioned somewhere and a color. And this is a separate story for that. And this is completely based on your ANSI, American National Standard Institute. Based on that, the colors are identified and it is showing across. The script is running in background. You see a mail. Where does the mails come? Into this folder. Where spool mail EC2-user. The path which is set. The PWD. Which directory you are into now? Even if you say PWD, you'll get the same thing. From where it is coming? From the environment. It is showing as home EC2-user. Yes or no?
Yes.
What is your login name? EC2-user. So what is your other parameters like this? So what is your language? English.
English,
Get to
yes.
different countries, different language also. You will get it accordingly. Is this clear? The set command? The set command?
ENV.
Env. Set env. Set also will display the similar one, set, SET. SET. Set also will show you the same, but it will also show you some script also. You can see in the initial, it's a long one. Leave it. Yeah, here you can see this, all these things which are set, values which I have given. All these values. So it is giving the script also, but still it is showing still more. Previously it is there. The set.
We'll use the env only.
It's showing the script also which is running, which script is running. So that is one. If I say ls-a or ls-al, the other day we learned, right? What is the difference between ls-al or ls-l and al? It will show
The list.
Long.
what is
The long list and AL shows the hidden files.
hidden,
also.
not hidden, as I mentioned.
Dot
Files. The
Mhm.
dot files. Any files. See here, what are all the dot files which are being shown? How many of them are there? Dot files?
6.
Files, not directories.
4.
4.
Course.
You see something dot bash logout, dot bash profile, dot bash rc, dot ssh. Real 4 files. These are something related to your bash shell. Is this clear? Something related to shell. So now I explain about certain things on a script. The other day we learned about a command called as echo also. Yes or no? Echo. Hello. How are
Yes,
you? How are you? What does it produce if I say like this?
Same print.
Hello,
Two
how
times.
are you?
Is this clear?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, everyone, please be careful. We are going to write a simple batch shell script. Batch shell script. This will be very, very interesting for all of you, I tell you. Okay, how to do that? We know how to write a file using cat. Cat greater than. Yesterday we learned, right? Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Cat greater than, you can say my script, and press enter. Okay. You can give first command as clear. Do as I do, as I say. Okay. If you are facing any trouble, ask me. Echo, welcome to Linux. Welcome to Linux. Is this clear? Okay. Echo space. That's all. It will produce only a blank line. Echo, say, today's date and time is $bracket date. What will happen now if I do like this? The date. See, I'm using a command
Printed
inside
the date.
echo. I'm defining a variable, a parameter inside the script. This is a command variable inside the script. That's why I use $bracket. Right. Echo blank line. See, before you press enter, verify and then press enter. Otherwise, you cannot go back. Tomorrow or day after, I'm going to teach VA. Then you can do the screen editing. Echo. I can write my terminal or today's date and time. I mentioned about this one, right? This month, or I can my user ID is, okay, my user ID is, I can say $bracket ID, right? And my terminal, or I can say maybe and my username is $bracket host name or uname. who am I? And say quotes closed. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Something one by one we are learning. We are in the very first stage, elementary stage. Echo, I'll say this month calendar is $cal. Enough. Enough. Control C. This is my first script I'm learning. So there is a file name called as my script. Yes or no? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the content of this my script? The thing which is there. Okay. Now it's good time for us to execute the script. It's a good time for us to execute the script. Let me see how the script is nothing but something which the system will understand in my language. Right? So I say, how to execute the script? This is in bash, right? I can say sh shell. What is the name of the file? My script.
My step.
My script. I'm executing my. So first one is clear. Welcome to Linux and so and so till the end. So the screen is cleared. Welcome to Linux. Today's date and time is produced. My user ID is UID 1000 so and so. Okay. And my username is EC2-user. This month calendar is December 2022. Everyone got similar result?
Typings are estimate.
Okay. Type, no problem.
What is the last
EOF
Sorry?
Alt C?
in my script line 7 unexpected EOF while looking for matching?
Means there is some error, syntax error which you might have mentioned.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Please look into this. Otherwise, you have to retype once again.
Thank you, sir.
Right. So here, this is the thing which you need to mention cat greater than my script. So here, please don't copy from this terminal notes. Otherwise, you will not be able to type anything.
Sir, what is the last statement that is
This one,
C? Yeah,
Control C,
Control C. I can't
Control
type
C,
that one.
Control plus C. Take your time, no problem. So when you say cat my script, it should show like this. And this is your execution of the script. Should get output like this.
Sir, what we need to do after Control C?
That's all. Try to execute.
Okay.
See this, I have kept everything in the notes. Should see this file, my script. ls-al. What is this art? I don't know. Or LL. Everyone got? Please let me know whoever has got. They like this output.
Only 2 minutes, sir.
It's take your time, no problem. This is only basic shell scripting. Bash is bash. Born again shell. The place where I kept it in the notes. What is bash? Here. Interface between kernel and end user.
Sir, done, sir.
That's nice. That's nice. So all the screenshots also I have attached.
Yes, sir.
Everyone
Got
do.
it, sir.
Take your time.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Cat greater than file name. You can see you can create a file.
Yeah.
Done, sir.
Don't take another 3 minutes time. Please do. Similarly, you can write your own scripts. Here, whatever has entered in my brain, I wrote. So still more sessions are there for shell scripting at a later stage. And people often recruit a lot of people for shell scripting. No, I didn't teach Deen Dayal, and yes, I didn't teach about how to edit. You have to say Control C and write once again. You have to say Control C and write once again the script.
Yes, sir, completed, sir.
Okay, that's nice.
Do we need to take a screenshot, sir?
It's up to you. If you do, see, the way of learning differs from person to person. Some people, if you ask me, because even if I learned by any time, whenever I feel important, I take a screenshot or I do a screen copy or I write it in my notepad, like I do in my notepad. That is, since the beginning onwards, I have a habit. Whether I teach you or whether I learn on myself, I keep it. That is my notes.
Okay.
That will be helpful, right?
Yes,
Your
sir.
learning will be proper.
Sir, done, sir.
That's good. That's good.
Done, sir. Done.
Okay, so everyone is getting the output, right? So now can you write your own scripts according to your requirement?
Yes,
Simple,
sir.
with the commands which you have learned. So my suggestion, please practice this one very much. It will be really, really helpful for you. All of you done, or should I continue with a little more class?
Sir,
Should I-
continue, sir.
Done, sir.
Done? Okay. Anyone else want me to wait? Once you learn Linux, it will be very, very interesting. I tell you. Okay, I can see many of the members are saying done. See, at the last, once we complete all the syllabus, we can do all the cases. In one go, within half an hour, you will finish off all the cases, I tell you. All the cases, you can do it either half an hour or 45 minutes or 1 hour, not beyond that. The only thing I didn't like is the labs are not properly organized. But for networking and security, excellent labs I've seen here in this. Okay, so now just wait, listen this one particularly. So now this is the bash. Bash, as I mentioned, it is an interface between a user and the kernel. Kernel is the core of the operating system. We told this is like your heart. As long as it is running, user can interact with the operating system. Fine, fine, excellent. Now let us explore what is basically kernel and its file system. So we are learning about the file system. Okay, please understand. This is again very, very important in interviews. You may not have any commands here, but we will learn about file system. What is file system? Organizing your files and folders. Files, folders is called file system. Right? In our Windows, we have a file system called as FAT32 and or NTFS. You all are familiar, right?
Yes, sir.
Even if you want to see now, you can see this is your file explorer. This is your file explorer. To say this PC, you have C drive and D drive. Okay, you want to see the file system type, just right click and say properties. You will see the file system is NTFS. You can see this one, NTFS. Similarly, anything. So mostly you will see only NTFS in your Windows file system. In Linux, we have a file system called as, I'll tell you, the file system called as ext4. So file system in Linux started with ext2, no more, then extended with ext3, no more, ext4 is currently being running, is currently being used. And also along with ext4, we have another file system which is also being used, which is also called as XFS. Some people use the XFS, some people use ext4, both has high priorities. But XFS has more privileges, XFS, extended file system. So these are the two type of file systems which we use in Linux. In Linux, any type of flavor of Linux, whether it is Red Hat or Fedora or Ubuntu or SUSE or anything, you see only these two types. Is this clear? If anyone asks about file system in Linux, you can tell this particular one.
Okay.
Is this clear?
Sir.
Okay. Okay. So XFS, ext4 or XFS. Mostly we use only XFS in this particular system. Anyway. So the organizing of files and folders is called as like this. Even in your operating system, when your Windows is installed, there are some files and folders which are by default installed. Like in your C drive, programs, and I mean like your C colon Windows, System 32, okay, and of course your documents and settings, maybe programs and all this. See, these are all the default files, folders. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So this one in C drive, program files x86. Maybe in Windows, do you use all these things? OS uses all these things. In Windows also you have system 32, etc., all these things. Okay, like this in Linux also we have some default files and folders. Once the OS is loaded, you have something which are commonly used files. So what are those? What are those? You see, you go to the root directory, root cd space // cd space // Once if you say // where are you now? Where are you now?
Root directory.
You are in the root directory. Is this clear? Let me show you what are all the files which are there. There are many number of directories. Yes or no? All of them are directories only. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So these are your, I'll tell you, I'll explain once again, just to go through this one. So once if I say cd space /, right? I am into pwd, and you can say pwd, you will be in slash. When you say ll, you will see all the root directory files. This is called as root directory files. Is this clear? The root directory files, like your Windows, right? Programs and program files, documents and settings, C colon root. Same thing here also. Now let us understand a little bit. So please listen carefully. Don't get diverted. This is very, very important. So here, this bin, starting one, you see this bin, B for bin, bin. Bin means binary files. The first one, you see, this one is binary files. All your executables will be there. System executables like your date, command, everything, all the commands which you have learned, right? From where it is getting executed, these are called as binary files, or also called as command files, binary or command files, anything. User command files. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All the files will be in this particular folder. In this particular folder, binary user command files. All the user command files are located in this directory. No need to explore, just understand. Just understand. In boot, you have all the system, kernel, modules, and bootloader files. Bootloader files. All of them are files. We are not supposed to touch all these files. You see this one, who owns? Root. Root owns all these files. We are not supposed to touch. Tomorrow I'll explain about this ownership and all these things. But understand that this is something reserved for the user. Suppose if you want to see the kernel, where will the kernel file? It is there in boot, right? I mentioned now. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let me show you. CD boot. If I say LL, you see this one? You see VM lineage, this file. This is called as the kernel file. We are not supposed to do anything, just view that. Kernel. I need RD. I need RAMFS. These are all called as modules, like our system drivers. This grub is called as a bootloader. Grand Unified Bootloader. Grand Unified Bootloader. Here you have the bootloader, partition tables, everything, all very sensitive information will be there. So you have to be very careful. So I am just giving you what directory is meant for what. So dev is nothing but device files. Like your everything is a file. Monitor is a file, webcam is a file, mouse is a file, keyboard is a file, everything is a file in this particular one in Linux. Okay, here you have device files. Like anything, keyboard, etc. Keyboard, KBD, mouse, webcam, etc. Anything. All your files, device files will be in this particular one only. Now comes to the etc. Very, very important for us. In this directory, we have the system configuration, script files, system configuration. So for administrators, we require a lot of configurations, etc. Your password file, do you remember yesterday we copied? etc PASSWD.
Yes, sir.
So from this one only, that's a configuration file actually. All right. And your home. You all remember home, where it is used? For your home EC2 user.
Device files like Kabaddi, mouse, webcam.
So home is mainly for users, home directory and files. Users, for every user, like including like EC2 user. Is this clear? Now next one, libraries. Linux, we know that it is written in C language and Perl. So the system libraries will be there in this particular folder. All the system libraries. It can be even Java libraries also, right? System and application libraries. Libraries. This is clear. lib64 is also same. 64-bit, use that. Local, we don't use much. We don't use much. Media. Another thing, when you insert CD-ROM or insert pen drive, the files are mounted on this particular one. External media files, media devices like what is that? Say DVD or anyway, pen drive, etc. Anything. External media. Right? That is mainly for. So you insert the pen drive, go to media, you can see your files. That is how. MNT. Here also for external media, we don't use for media. External, what we call is like network mounts, network devices. Some other file you can export into here like this. External. OPT used for softwares, major softwares, like Oracle, SAP, etc. Major, like Suite, like as I mentioned, like Oracle, etc. Okay. Major software suites like Oracle, etc. This is clear. OPT. PROC. It's a processor file system. Exclusively for CPU. CPU owned. We don't use this one at all. CPU owned. We don't use at all. Root. Home directory for root user. Root user or SU. Super user. Root user or CPU user. Super user. Run, we don't use much. Run. SBin, it is super bin. Super user commands like shutdown, backup, all those things are for super user. Super user binary files, binary commands. Binary means commands. Okay, commands. SRV, don't worry, not used. SRV and sys are reserved, we don't use much. Temp, temporary directory for everyone, every user. So you keep some data in temporary. So user 1, I keep in temporary 1, I can access that. User 2 can extract. So I cannot send my files from user 1 to user 2. So I keep it in temp, the other user can copy from temp, like that, temporary directory. So it is mainly used by any user, User, I mean applications, small applications files, or small application files are stored here. Small application, like if you are using a media player, a small one, it's not a large application. Like in OPT, we have major software suites. Here, small application files. Where, the last one is where for various others, like additionally, like it can be for logs, maybe FTP home directory, crash dumps, etc. Many things can be used, many other things. If there is nothing, you can keep it in var. Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If
Yes, sir.
I don't know how you are going to learn, you should become familiar with these folders and files. Otherwise, understanding Linux is like a layman. I know, but I don't know what is this directory for or something like that. You should be able to figure out what directory is meant for what, just like that. Which type of things will be there in which directory, etc. Okay. So if you know that, then it becomes very easy for you. Very easy for you. So I just gave you the notes next to your folder. If anything is not understood, just let me know.